Hey everybody, when I say poetry, you say rocks. Poetry rocks. But most of all, you rock because during this quarantine, you have turned on this video because you want to explore more about the Silk Road. My name is Regie. I am a poet, and I'm so excited to be working on behalf of Story Tapestries and Neelsville Middle School to be your arts integration specialist. I am not a world history teacher. I am a poet. I love working with words. And I know for this lesson, you are going to learn about the Silk Road. You're creating a character. You're going to do a journal entry talking about your travels. So, our poem is very, very simple. I want you to think about your character, and I know that in your packet you've been given some character profiles. You're also given a few names to choose from. I've included a list of Chinese names of all genders, and I chose a character for myself that I'm going to write about. My character is going to be a 13-year-old young man named Jian. And in order to do this exercise, you're going to have to know a little bit about Chang'an, which is where we're starting on the journey. And it's going to take you about a year to finally get to Dun Huang. When I was doing the research for these cities, I found out that Dunhuang has a lot of interesting Buddhist caves and temples. I found out that in Chang'an, or what's now known as Xi'an, there was a lot of different religions that were happening. So what I did was I researched some of the history and some of the geography and some of the main points of the cities. So I jotted down the titles and names of places that struck me. So in Chang'an, there's the Yellow and Wei rivers. There's a lot of Confucian architecture. There's something called the Temple of Heaven. And I found something like the 14th of Buddha. The town is a fortress with emperors and a lot of steel and weaponry. And there are, when you're buried and you're of royalty or an honorable warrior, you have terracotta statues made in your likeness. So, and in Chang'an, there's a temple with 8,000 terracotta statues. So I said I had to use that. So knowing that I'm Jian, knowing that I'm coming from Chang'an, I wrote this poem. My name is Jian, and I come from a place of the Yellow and Wei rivers, where they meet the Temple of Heaven. I come from a place of emperors whose souls are entombed with 8,000 terracotta warriors. I come from a place where pagodas and mosques stand and Indian scriptures whisper to me in dreams to head west. My name is Jian. I am 13, an orphan. I come from a place that sells sheep, jade, and camels. I come from a place I know too well, and I am off to the place of 1,000 Buddhas. I used to be afraid to fend for myself, but now I'm afraid I will die a beggar. My name is Jian. I am a religious young man, and I believe in karma. I trust the caravan of merchants who will take me to Dun Huang to find my fortune. My name is Jian. It means strength, and I may never come back. So I come from a place where, and I took all of those images and looking at some of the architecture and pictures of Chang'an to fill in and put in some of those very specific details. You'll see me repeat my name. Jian does mean strength. And I also encourage you to uh, find out what your name means. Now, uh, before I go, I just want you to think about your character. So, in addition to what your character's name means, I want you to think about, does your character have a special skill or talent? My Jian's talent is that he is really muscular and very strong and can lift and is just a hard worker. Um, where does your character live? So if you can think about um, if they're maybe in some gorgeous palace, or maybe they're in some small little hut in a farm or rural area. So think about the space where they live. Um, Religion is so important. I chose Buddhism because in Danhuang there's a heavy Buddhist um, uh, worshippers there. So I did that. And you also want to think about maybe what your character wants to take with you or takes with them on their journey. Uh, and what's the story? Maybe they're reuniting with someone, or maybe like Jian never wants to go back to uh, the hometown because it's just a lot of sad memories. Uh, those are some of the points. But again, as you explore, really think about this character. And I promise you, by the end of this journal, uh, you'll feel a little bit attached to this character you're creating. So even though you're doing a journal, you're almost creating a short novel, which is really, really exciting. So think of I come from, think about who you are, what you want, and I wish you lots of luck in creating your poem. Uh, it doesn't have to be a lot of lines. My poem was really short, and maybe uh, your character is a poet, and in the journal entry will end with a poem. So again, my name is Regie. Thank you so much for looking at this video. I'm attaching a PDF so you could sort of look at my poem that I wrote and some of my notes. And I wish you luck on your journey. And please stay tuned to the next Poetry Arts Integration video. I'm Regie Kibiko from Story Tapestries, and have a great week. Have a great evening, and stay safe and stay in.